Well, this whole incident going back 3 weeks is going to leave a mark on Urban Meyer's legacy. And the truth is, for somebody like Urban Meyer, who has built so much of his brand on being about more than football, I don't see how anyone can take that seriously anymore. This is a football-driven decision. And understand, Urban Meyer can no longer occupy that moral high ground that he likes to claim so religiously. This is all about winning. And I think, frankly, America would have respected what Ohio State did today more if they had just come out and said this was mostly about wins and losses. Instead, they're trying to sort of satisfy all parties, and that really doesn't work very well. I don't think Ohio State University did itself any favors with this press conference that they had after announcing the 3-game suspension. Things you didn't hear talked about in the press conference by any of the principals, namely Courtney Smith, the wife of Zach Smith, who do think Ohio State, in not addressing her at all, made a huge public relations error. Urban Meyer was asked what he would say to Courtney Smith, and that's a very easy question to answer for Urban Meyer, who should have been prepared for that. And all he could come up with was, I'm sorry we're in this situation. I'm sorry we're in this situation. As if he could equate the burden he is carrying with this woman. So I think the whole thing was very tone deaf, very unfortunate. And I don't think you come away with this necessarily saying that you have a great sense that Ohio State solemnly accepts responsibility for how this turned out. I think this was, as much as anything, for Ohio State and for Urban Meyer, a story of keeping a toxic employee inside the tight circle of Ohio State football who had no business being there and who they absolutely should have been far more skeptical of, should not have given the benefit of the doubt to. And it nearly brought down all of Ohio State football. And I think it's clear he did not act as a good steward of Ohio State football. But were his problems big enough as the leader that he deserved to be fired? I don't know. There has to be somebody willing to make that call, and it does not appear that anyone at Ohio State wanted to fire him, so it didn't happen. I don't know if they got it right or wrong, but I think in the response, in telling people why they did what they did, I think they failed miserably in not acknowledging that this was mostly about wins and losses and not what was, quote, the right thing.